Hey guys, Chris, welcome to a brand new Lego Fortnite trailer breakdown video. We're also breaking down the blog post too. I originally recorded a reaction to this, but similar to the last video, I had an error with the audio being too loud, so I'm muting past Chris for this part. And I'm just going to talk about the trailer as it plays. I'm pretty excited. This game mode, I'm actually just talking my thoughts in general. The game mode itself looks very promising, and I'm just going to go over what is shown here before I just jump into like past Chris breakdown stuff. But no, I'm actually going to break it down in this. But as you see here, like it just shows off the actual like game mode and stuff, and you have like all the new weapons, which after reading the blog post makes it very interesting. I'm not going to spoil much quite yet, but the Raven ability here is probably my favorites. Like, look at that, that's just sick. The gun too. Don't tell the CEO they will not come for you. It's also like a really cool, like sick new weapon. But you got the new brutes. You have like a bunch of new like stuff. You got the new eye area for like Diego. I like that Raven. I just love that ability, man. You got the whole thing, shebang. It's so bang, and it looks beautiful. And of course, right here, you got the Caesar for next Odyssey update releasing in July, and Superman. Look at that, it's Superman. I'm so pumped for this. I'm so freaking pumped for this. It's practically like a Superman update. We're getting DC stuff. Like this is basically confirming, in my opinion, we're getting DC stuff in Lego Fortnite. Which I kind of speculated this, because if you go on Fortnite right now, the teaser art they're using for the next update of Lego Fortnite shows the Superman, like, teaser image that they use. It's kind of like a recreation of the current promotional art for the new Superman film listing in July as well. I'm just saying, they're releasing, I bet the next update is going to release like in July 11th when Superman releases, and it's going to just have DC items like Batman. I'm hoping, this is my like copium thing, I hope we get the Batman mythics from Chapter 1 Season X in Lego, because they were re-added to the files a few moments ago. I'm just saying, that would be sick. I would love that. The ability to like raise fire from my eyes as Superman. Gerald would not stand a chance. But yeah, I'm gonna just quickly break down this trailer and some of the stuff I found. Not really too much, but of course you got the Utopia City, which is one of the new areas. Of course you got some Diego's goons. The whole mechanic here, I kind of saw a frame of this. Kind of reminds me of the like mechanic from like Lego Incredibles, if you know what I'm talking about, when you had like a bunch of the like goon missions that appear every once in a while. But you got the new brutes. These are part of the, like, they're called the Titans, if I remember correctly from reading the blog post just now. But they're pretty cool. New brutes, they're interesting. Like, I love the fact that they kind of give me like a Destroyer vibes from 4, which is pretty cool. You got Diego's main base, which, man, I love this. Like, it gives, like, I just love the vibe of this. Like, these, I know these are not going to be, like, props that you can use in Odyssey, because, like, they kind of just said themselves that, like, if you read the blog post, and I will get this later in the video, but it says that you will not be able to build, in this game, and most likely to be, like, a PvE mode. However, it is still, I wish we are somehow get our hands on some of this stuff, because this would be so sick to have in Odyssey. And look at all this. The lightning in the background, Diego looking at the screen menacingly. As lamps appear in the background, I want these lamps in Odyssey, man. I want them so freaking badly. But we get another look at Utopia City. Now, at launch, the Diego's domain and Utopia is like the Academy, Supernova Academy, supposedly might not even be in the game. There's gonna be like post-launch content that gets added to this mode. And something else I do find intriguing, it says Super, it says Lego Fortnite Expeditions Super, which leads me to believe, since this mode is a permanent game mode, that of course going to get more updates, and who knows, you're going to have their own theming to it, so to add on to the lore of this game mode, which is pretty cool and pretty unique, and who knows, it's probably going to be like similar to Brick Life, where it just expands the map. But speaking of which, we got the characters from the Battle Pass. Of course, you got the Tier 100 skin, you got this cool guy, and then you got the Rift character, and then you got this other character right here. She does not have a weapon in the new game mode. She's just here for some reason. She's just chilling for friends. She's so sad because everyone's just smiling. She's like, yeah, I don't have any new weapons or give like mythics in this game mode. We got the bridge from Chapter 6 here. We also got a Durburger restaurant like over here, which is pretty cool. Is that the, like, wait a second. Okay, for a second I thought that was like the Durburger sign with the actual Durburger on it, which we do not have in Lego Fortnite, but no, there's just the Durburger head on top of the building. But of course you get this building here that also looks like a Chapter 6 build, and then you got this over here that kind of reminds me. The whole thing's based on Chapter 6. Chapter 6 written all over it, which is a good thing. You got a pink car over here that could be a reference to The Simpsons. Maybe. But you got this whole thing going off the bridge. It's like Battle of the Bridge. And of course you got the lighthouse we see in the key art later on. I'm quite curious how large this map actually is, which you'll find out why once we get to like what past Chris talks about with the overall like breakdown of the blog post. But the game mode, like this mythic with like the Raven, is so cool in my opinion. It's one of my favorite things. You got some looks at like Diego's main base. Diego's like right here, and then you got the key art once again for Diego. He's shooting lasers out of his hands. You got the missiles right here. they'll have like a rainbow aura all over them. It just screams aura. It's pretty cool. I'm excited for this mode. And it is very hype, especially with the updates for Odyssey, which I'm just going to showcase like right about here. Look at that. It just, not much is really going on, but like the spires are activated, and supposedly this is not happening until the update in July. However, I do say this when I do the blog post. I'm basically repeating a lot of the lore and stuff that I'm saying in the blog post in the second half of this video. But like supposedly we're gonna be able to actually craft the weapons from the new expedition game modes inside of Odyssey. So Odyssey, it took us a while to get a new update, but like patience is a virtue. As someone's been playing Minecraft for like years, stuff like this is pretty cool. The frequent amount of updates we're starting getting both Minecrafts, and I'm pretty sure this is not the only update we're getting this year. So it's pretty exciting. But yeah, this is just a look at what we're gonna be seeing. And of course, Superman! Hype. I'm so excited. Once again, I'm so excited for that. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty excited for this game mode. And let's just send it off to Past Chris with the breakdown for the actual post, for the actual blog post of this video. And that was said, I hope you guys do enjoy the rest of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I nailed that. So, we're back in here. So, I'm going to do a quick breakdown of the actual blog post, as the original take of this took over like 20 minutes. This video is a mess, but I love it. But I kind of mentioned some things in the actual reaction for the trailer. First off, there is, of course, a link to the trailer. This world is under attack, and the kind of main points of this whole article is that there's missions, there's co-op missions. You can play up to like 4 players. This mode is very much a PvE mode, so you can bring your friends to do missions to kind of save the world. As I mentioned before, kind of similar to like if you're familiar with like TT games like Lego Incredibles, it kind of reminds me of that, where you can fight the bosses or bubs in certain occasions. But like there's one place, I think, basically like access missions from the Academy Hub to Mission Terminal at the Terminal if you're to start a mission, or specific mission to quickly, yada yada. It's pretty much just some cool stuff. Of course, you got new cities, like basically for attracting villains. So you got the multiple POIs. You got the city, so you can also at the cities you can do evacuate citizens, accept recon, realize, and deploy field generators to prevent attacks. So that's kind of a cool thing. You got Diego's main fortress, which is pretty cool. Right here, so this is the spire activation site, which you see a lot in the trailer, is where Dio is kind of creating the spires. And of course you got the third POI, which is the bridge. I kind of mentioned this before, I'm kind of curious to see how large this map actually is, as these are the main free POIs currently. The bridge is pretty much the spanner bridge from the Battle Royale. It's kind of different from that, but it's very much the same design. And more to come. So this was talking in the trailer, it was about like post-launch you're gonna have like Demon's Domain, and of course the Academy itself being added later on, which is pretty interesting. Now of course you got team projects that you can do. Basically it helps you upgrade, and the one cool thing about this mode is that there's a skill tree. That's right, there's upgrade skill trees, so each like rank has their own like skill that you can use to upgrade with their own abilities. From what it sounds like, we don't know quite yet until tomorrow, which I'm gonna definitely make a video about when the new mode comes out. That's probably the first thing I do tomorrow, if I'm being real, before I jump to like other modes like Brick Life and Odyssey to see if there's anything new. But we're definitely gonna check out everything that's relating to this video, this update. But when you're completing a mission, this is basically assignments, team projects, in your mission, academy tasks given to the staff, yada yada. Well, I don't say yada yada a lot. Basically, you can get assignments from like the founders, like Mitch Jones and Knight Rose, to get assignments from the teachers and students. Like, it gives you assignments that you can do around the map. So I'm pretty sure it's just like similar to the task board in Brick Life, if I make a guess. But hero classes, you got like 3 main ones. You got the Shower Caller, which is the Raven ability. You get the Hunter, which allows you to kind of just like use the grappling blade, and then the Rift Flipper lets you to like jump up boosts, and then of course you get to like rift jump as well, which lets you kind of saw it in the trailer, like you can rift around, which is pretty cool. A lot of this is you saw in the trailer, but it's pretty cool. And these weapons are not really exclusive to each mythic. As you see, tools in the toy box. Even the greatest superheroes need a bit of extra power sometimes. So you basically these tools, I'm pretty sure the ones that you're gonna be able to craft inside of Odyssey in the update tomorrow, which is pretty cool. From what it says here, daggers and war hammers. You can basically craft them. You can find them in chests. I think you can find them like in, from what it sounds like, from right about here, you can find these gadgets in a terminal, which is pretty cool. The pistols, it's like you can just shoot from long ranges. You can do a sprint spin, which lets you dash forward and perform a spinning motion while firing a plasma. The Warhammer is similar to like the Rabbit Hammer. We can do like a handstand and ground slam, which can go up to 4 seconds. And of course, very much like that. Kind of reminds me of the hammer from like Chapter 4, which is pretty cool. Lego Fortnite's first two-handed weapon. Give me a second. Let me a second. You sure about that? I'm pretty sure this is two-handed. I just saw that. Second two-handed weapon. Let me correct that for you, Epic. Fortnite's still looking for a minor head tank roll. Of course, you got the daggers as well, which is star pair plays to help you like to take down some Daigo's forces. A lot of the forces will also be using these weapons when you go against them, which is pretty cool. The enemies, you have basically these guards, which are pretty cool. The normal guards are basically like they just have like bows and dynamite and swords, and these guys, the heavy demon guards, have the actual weapons that you're able to get. And the spires are also activated; they can actually attack you. And they got the Titans, which I mentioned in the trailer, and of course you got Core, who's also on the Battle Royale island right now. Being Royal, I thought she was gonna be like the boss in Metal Gear Solid 5. She's actually really easy to defeat when I was playing. And of course you got Daigo himself, where it says you need to like kind of power up to kind of defeat him. And then of course Expeditions in the rest of Lego Fortnite, which is pretty cool. So this is one of probably the most important things here, because there's a lot of people worrying. I know, especially in the community, there's a lot of people worrying about like Lego Fortnite in general, if we're getting more updates in Odyssey, because it has been 6 months, and don't worry, Epic got us covered. So once this is just about enemies in Odyssey and looking for more, playing your battle strategy over in Brick Bay, you don't have to back out of Odyssey or Brick to jump into Expeditions. Instead, you can get into action directly from your game or using the Battle Bus Station, which I'm hoping, from what it sounds like, you cannot bring the items to each mode. But what I'm hoping is you can travel to individual like Lego Fortnite Odyssey worlds eventually. That's something I'm hoping you can do, because you can travel to all these other game modes. Why won't you be able to travel to those worlds? Because theoretically, if you go to the Expedition mode, you would have to go back to Odyssey in some way. That's my guess. Who knows? But speaking of Odyssey, you probably know spires are appearing in your world earlier this month. Well, you guys are gonna find out in my next battle video. That's not the case for me. Thankfully. Unfortunately, those spires haven't been activated by Daigo yet, so your world is spared. For now. But be prepared to take action when the spires are activated in July and start spawning expeditions and enemies. It may not be a bad idea to start crafting weapons ahead of time. You'll be able to craft expedition weapons in Odyssey on June 18th, aka tomorrow. And that's not everything from the expeditions coming to Odyssey. Hero classes will arrive in the future, which is the hero abilities that you're going to be able to get classes inside of expeditions. We're getting all these freaking abilities inside of Odyssey, which is so sick. I mentioned this in the trailer, but it's so hype. It is amazing. It's incredible. I don't even know what to say. This is amazing. But Expedition is all about action, so your builder programs won't work there, as I mentioned before. But yeah, this talks about how you can use your outfits inside of Lego Fortnite, and it also mentions Superman. Of course, probably because you can purchase them early right now. But my copium theory is that we're getting Lego DC items in July 11th when Superman releases. Please, I would love to shoot down enemies with like Superman abilities. Or like with Batman's like grappling hook for Chapter 1 Season X. I'm just saying that would be so freaking sick. And overall, as I mentioned before in the actual like breakdown part of the trailer, this update is very promising. It has so many exciting things, so many exciting features that I personally hype for, and I hope you guys are excited for as well. And if you are, let me know down in the comments down below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider a like if you're new, subscribe for more content just like this. And with that plug out of the way, I just say this update is very exciting, and patience is truly a virtue, especially in games that I played for a while, like Minecraft. So I suppose it's not the only update we're getting this year, and all the stuff we're getting on like Odyssey right now is very exciting. And who knows, we might be able to get like Lego DC, like Lego kits, like the Fortress of Solitude, or even Gotham, something Gotham related. That would be cool. I'm still hoping that they add like the Rocket League Batmobile to Battle Royale, and to like port over to Fortnite. I'm still hoping on that, but like seeing all the stuff that's getting out of Odyssey is so cool. And with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you all have a spectacular day, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.